Okay, welcome back everyone to part 4 of What If Deku Were the Son of Lobo. Now, we left off on a very peculiar spot in the story, one that I've been kind of really racking my brain on how to approach this next part. It's after the sports festival. Now, real quick, Deku, I imagine Deku probably wouldn't take even though Bakugo calls him Deku, I don't know if Deku would take, I call him Deku, as obviously Midoriya, would take this superhero moniker of Deku. I don't know if he would do that here. For him, the name Deku, it was him basically taking the name that had been just hanging around, haunting him for years, and turning it on its head in his favor, making that bullied name his hero name, his strength. I imagine he could, though I don't know what other hero names he probably could think. Maybe he could combine it with something like Punk Deku, Main Man. I don't know, something Deku the Main Man or something like that. I don't know. For the time being, we'll just say it's Deku. If you can think of a better name, let me know. I actually didn't even think about that. I just knew that this came before what we're really getting into. The intern. Well, the first. I can't remember if it's called the internship. The internship, I believe, was with Night Eye. I can't remember what this was. The shadowing program, more or less. And this is where I'm like, okay, because I heard some people say that, maybe All Might would actually take him as a trainee. But I don't even know if All Might was accepting anyone at that point. Obviously, seeing as he's eyeing Midoriya as an all-for-one candidate, one-for-all candidate, he might make that exception. But then I'm like, oh, okay, when he wasn't anywhere near as reckless in this version as he was in the original. Plus, everyone saw he also had a healing factor, too, as he recovered from Todoroki's ice. So, would any other heroes want to take him under his wing? Hell, Miriko, the rabbit hero. She, in I think one of the offshoot, team-up mangas, they did partner with her, and she actually wasn't a big fan of Deku initially. Here, though, this Deku might be more up her alley, so maybe she's more interested in taking him under her wing. That's entirely possible. And then there's the question of Gran Torino, plus also the decision All Might made. In the end, here is how it's going to go for this story. It could go a different way. If you're interpreting it a different way, entirely fine, but this is the way I'm going to interpret it. After choosing the hero names, Deku realizes I haven't really gotten many, people asking for me. It's like, oh crap, what's going to happen? To which then All Might, young Midoriya, All Might, yeah, sorry, I'm just the work study. That's what it was work study. So yeah, not really many. I haven't really had many offers. That's because you were always spoken for, young Midoriya. What? You see, after I saw your performance in the UA Sports Festival, I knew it was time. I'll be taking you under my wing for the next part of the work, for the work study. At least for part of it. I still have my duties as a hero I must perform, and my duties as a teacher. But don't worry, I've found a good workaround for that. During this time, I've got something very important to tell you, young Midoriya. But until then, I'll save that for our actual work study. Now then, I will see you then! Ha-ha! I'd say, oh, okay, cool! Ha-ha! I say, yeah, I got all the... And then, he goes back to class. Midoriya, what was that about? All Might said he's going to take me under his wing for his work study. It's like, whoa, cool. What? And then Bakugo's like, you loser! How the hell did you get All Might for your work study? And I was like, Deku again, being definitely a lot more willing to just poke the bear when it comes to Bakugo. It's like, I guess I'm just that awesome. Not knowing that he's actually spoken to All Might about it prior, and how All Might says he's kind of has his eye on him for something and all that, but he doesn't rub it in because he doesn't want everyone else like kind of ganging up on him. Not bullying, but just like, hey, it's like, tell me more, Mizuka, Midoriya. No, nothing like that. But he's like, all right, calm down. You're going to do your work studies at the end of the week, and you'll have a week. I can't remember how long you're doing them. I think it was like a week. It's like, then Bakugo wants to slug him, but he can't. They're in class. But, Midoriya's just like, hi. He's like really happy, but at the same time, I really wonder what All Might has in store. So the work study comes. It's like, young Midoriya. It's good to see, and he turns into his real self. Now, if I remember correctly, and that's all I'm really doing here. I think if I remember from last video, dealing with the whole attack on the USJ, and after the fact with All Might, I don't believe he knows All Might has this form, or All Might's injured and everything like that. But I can't actually remember completely, so let me know if I did that. For the sake of argument and a fun reveal, it's like, Midoriya, you're here. It's like, hi, who are you? It's like, oh, that's right, you haven't seen me like this before. Hold on 1 second. It's like, recognize me now, Midoriya? What? Man, doing that back and forth isn't as easy as it used to be. That's right. There's a reason I took you under my wing. I wanted to take you for the first part of your work study, Midoriya. You see, I've been looking for someone, a successor. Is it a successor? Yes, and he sits down and explains what happened between All for One and him. And just like, wait, so that's right. I've been looking for someone to carry on the power of One for All for some time. I came to you looking for a proper successor. There was at least another candidate, but then I met you. I'll admit, you were a little rough around the edges at first, but when I saw you go for that 0-pointer in the entry exam when you didn't have to do it, I knew maybe you could be it, but I still had to be sure. So I kept pushing you a little harder every time I could, every chance I could. That's why you let Baku go? That's right. That's why I let that fight continue, even though I shouldn't have. I just needed to see what you were made of. In the sports festival, when I saw what you were trying to do for young Todoroki. Young Todoroki. Can I do my my Sabat voice, right? When I saw what you were trying to do for young Todoroki, I knew. I think I found the right one. Now, Mirio is still honestly just as good an option. By the way, someone said if Mirio had gotten One for All, he wouldn't live on Earth. He'd live like maybe 3 extra years. I don't know where you're getting that math, dude. Like, okay, let's be clear. The 4th user of One for All lived to his 40s. Okay, fine. But that was the 4th. You still had, and we're on, this would be the 7th for Deku. So, I mean, it's maybe his 30s. But 3 years? I'm not sure where that math checks out on that. But regardless, still, maybe I'm completely wrong. Actually, no, wait, no. Deku's the 9th user. What the hell am I talking about? He's the 9th user. So still, even with 3 other people there, I mean, 30s, I think or late 20s at any rate. Regardless. So, that being said, Midoriya, so I've been wanting I'm asking you now. Now you know my secret. Are you willing to help carry on this legacy that was created from darkness and is now a beacon of hope for all? It's like, no, Deku was just looking down and was like, I don't know. I've always been considered kind of a weirdo, a little bit of a freak among everyone else. Not just because of my looks, but my attitude as well. It's like, I know. And that's true, but you've been growing ever since I met you. The question is, are you willing to take that next step? And Deku's like, and Deku just thinks to himself, this is it. This is my chance to be something better than what I thought I could be. To prove to everyone that I can be your hero. Not just the best hero there is. I promise. I swear. I promise that. Oh, very well, young Midoriya. Now, normally, a One for All requires immense physical conditioning. But luckily, whatever your quirk. By the way, do we know the name of your quirk? Not exactly. We never really had a name for it. They just really enhanced my physicality. Indeed. In fact, add on your regeneration, you actually seem to be enhanced to the point that you probably don't even need the physical conditioning, Midoriya. That's it. So then, there's only one thing left to do. I'm ready. Anything. Eat this. Huh? Eat it. Come on. Oh God. It'll take a few minutes to digest it, but then I'll explain to you afterwards. And so, obviously, a few minutes pass. It's like, now, clench your fist. Now, smash! Obviously, whoa! Oh! Yes, I had a feeling that might happen. But it's like, but also, here's the thing. So with a One for All, we know it not just gives you all the physicality of the previous One for All users, it will enhance your own quirk. Hence why when Midoriya got it with his his natural quirk that I gave him in the combo with his mom and dad's quirk, it enhanced his fire quirk quite a bit. But I imagine will also enhance your normal physicality. So Deku's already impressive. Well, obviously he's got the impressive physical strength and durability amped, but also his natural regeneration, which isn't a quirk, but it's still part of his biology. I had to assume One for All would enhance that. So his arm, which I said would probably heal up in a couple minutes to maybe a full hour, now heals up probably within a few minutes, no problems. He even can feel his bones just snapping back. And like, oh man, whoa, that was a lot quicker than usual. Yes, I can see. It seems to be enhancing everything about you, Midoriya. Your durability, your strength, and your regenerative capabilities. My word. You really could be the strongest hero in the world. It's like, awesome. But what happened? Well, it was bound to happen again. You need to learn to regulate it, Midoriya. Spread it even. My advice: try spreading it evenly along your body, not just in one concentrated point. He's like, all right, and he just does it 100%. He's doing it 100%. He's breaking his body. So for the first half of the week, he's just like, bah, bah. It's like try dialing it down a bit. Finally, though, he gets to a point where he's at a level where his body can handle it, and because of his just natural physicality, he probably is at a much higher level than that 5%. I'd be willing to bet almost 15%, which means he's almost capable of doing just the air shots from the get. But it's like, no, Midoriya, you see me coming along very well. But there's someone I want you to meet. It's like, come here and say, what is this? So this is the show. I've never tried to do Torino's voice, and I think about it. So this is the young boy. This is the young boy, lad that you've chosen your successor, All Might. Is that right? Indeed, Torino. He's got a long way to go, but he's already at least 10, 12%. Really? Interesting. Well, I'm gonna enjoy whipping you with a shape, boy. It's like, wait, I thought I was doing work study on you. You're half right. You're doing half your work study on me. The first half was you to get the general gist of One for All down, which you seem to have gotten pretty well. But then Torino isn't just a mentor. He was my mentor. And he's the one who's going to be whipping you into shape for combat and how to use it properly. And so I'll leave him in your hands, sir. All right, boy. You're coming home. You're coming home with me. And then, so let's see what you got. And Midoriya goes in the 12%. And even that 5%, Grandier Torino was forced to dodge, and he even got a cut on his cheek. And so I imagine 12% Deku would be problematic for Torino. But he's a more experienced hero, and he was told about it, so he's not holding back either with Midoriya. And so he's actually still able to put Midoriya kind of into the ground a bit. But he's like, whew, at my age, it's a little hard to be keeping up with someone as spry as you, young man. But this is only going to be training against one-on-one opponents. Is only going to do you so good. So let's go out into the world and fight some bad guys. And luckily for Ida, this leads Midoriya into finding pain. This doesn't concern you. Deku, just get out of here. Midoriya, just get out of here. It doesn't concern me. One of my classics, someone I think of as a friend, is throwing their entire career away, all in the name of revenge. All in the name of revenge. Revenge. Like hell, this doesn't concern me. And what would a Jenny think looking at you now? Is this the kind of hero your brother wanted to be? Is this the kind of hero you wanted to be? And obviously, Stain actually could say, "That's it, boy. That's the spirit, kid." And and Midoriya probably just with training with Torino got to 15%. Again, physicality, he's way stronger here. So that means he unconsciously, without even realizing it, throws the fist to get do the gust of air. So when the Stain comes in, boom, just blast Stain. I know it's not the time to talk about it, but when you're ready, I'll be here to talk about it. And say, you've got it's like, come here! And just comes in. Midoriya is just easily dodging, just grabs the blade, just snaps it in half, and just and Stain just he actually probably even breaks the rib, like the rib punctured his lung after the whole fight in the original. Here, he might have broken a rib or two already on that punch. I was like, I'm doing you a favor. Don't move. What? Yeah, it's like, I can't. And he just sees his hand healing up. What? How am I? It's his quirk. And so, Midoriya still managed to text anyone in the area. Shoto comes, but he still looks at Midoriya. Like, you're different from this kid. You've got potential, kid. That's why you get to live. And so, obviously, Shoto comes. And Deku eventually snaps out of it. Good question is this because he's half alien? Would his blood be affected by a stain? I have to assume still yes, because he's still half human, and so therefore he still probably has a blood type like a human. But it's a fair question, I think. Either way, they still ultimately bring Stain down. This Nemu comes and grabs Midoriya, only for him to come like, oh, damn it. I said, let me. And then Stain comes in and slashes it. What the hell? Hero killer. Endeavor. Come at me, you fakes. All of you fakes. Only one can kill me. All might is worthy. Just and so he's just completely knocked out. Meanwhile, they get a scolding about what happened. Don't do it again. Then, after the fact, they're showing off the progress of their work. Midoriya is now showing off his new power, which, again, he can honestly just pass off, quite frankly, as just his power, or say his quirk evolving in this case, because it's basically super strength, or all just super physicality is what One for All allows, plus the extra quirks that got buried in there. So right now he can just play it off as his quirks evolving to new heights, and he's just showing off. And speed-wise, speed-wise, he might have already been able to beat them in that race. Here he can kind of very easily beat them. And Baku's like, those are my moves. What the hell? Deku, how far have you? And it's like, oh, Midoriya, want to eat lunch with me? And so they're eating lunch. He explains about the nature of One for All and All for One. How, how Stain could have. Did he swipe One for All? No, I just got it. No, it's fine. It needs to be given willingly. And he explains the nature of that. And then you have the final test. And this is obviously where Deku and Bakugo have to be teamed up with each other. And they was like, oh. And Midoriya's like, oh, great. There's no way this asshole's going to work with me. Like, he probably even says this asshole. He doesn't even say Bakugo. There's no way this asshole's going to work with me. But we got to do this to pass, no matter what. All right, just set aside and, Bakugo's like, I don't need your help. It's like, oh, look, I get it. You hate my guts. I'm not a big fan of you, but we need to work together. That's the whole point of this exam. I can pass the exam without you. Like, oh my God, why are you like this? You pain in the ass. He just, like before, like, dear God, the amount of asshole that was I could smell coming off of that man in that fight was insane. Like that, between their first fight in that little face-off they had for the first test they had, and that fight, or in the teamwork fight they had to do, my God, the level of douchebag that man was in that series. I will never stop harping on the fact that Bakugo's character arc is actually really impressive, because, man, did they make him unlikable. But in a way where you liked he's one of those characters you enjoyed not liking. Like, this guy deserves to get his ass kicked. So when the slices of humble pie came to him, it was so beautiful to have happen. And so he smacks Midoriya again and kisses Midoriya off guard. Only Midoriya is just like, boom, smacks him back. This time he backhands him. He's holding back to his, but why, you smacked me first, you asshole. This is why we can't get along. You always thought you were better than me. I don't need you, you son of a... Oh, little lovers quarrel are we having? So he just comes in, basically just knowing how strong Midoriya's gotten. Midoriya might even be creeping into the 20%. Like, his Zarnian DNA is probably helping One for All adapt fast to his body. So it just kind of pins him down and, just kind of starts beating Bakugo down. And so, and Midoriya obviously gets out eventually, thinking that he has to, knowing that he could try to get away. And at his speed, he actually would have a good shot of doing it. But, Baku's like, I don't need him. I'd rather lose than accept help from him. Well, as long as you have no regrets, Bakugo. And that's when Midoriya comes in, full blast. He punches it to the max, going as far as like 25%, which is more than even his body can handle right now. Just boom, and unfortunately his arm just. But the big thing here is that Midoriya already had enough physical strength before One for All to actually be able to kind of keep up. I mean, he would straight out lose to All Might, but enough that if he hit All Might there without One for All, it would have hurt. He would have felt it. It probably would have been like when he nailed him in the original series, where it's been like, oh, that's more like it, heroes. But here it's more like, he actually staggered a bit from it. Keep in mind, All Might no longer has One for All. But this All Might did not have the issue of fighting the sludge monster. He's also given up One for All a lot later in the story here than he did in the original. In the original, at this point, he's been without One for All for at least a couple months minimum. They never really give a true length of time, but we know the sports festival, I believe, took like a week or two between the USJ incident and the sports festival, plus then a couple weeks. It's been a couple months minimum. So All Might's power was waning at that point. Here, All Might's still relatively he hasn't been at his peak even without giving One for All away. The injury just prevents that. But point being is that he's still pretty near where his pinnacle was at this time. He's only just starting to wane. So but still, it's enough that it actually does stagger him a little bit. And he gets Baku at her, they rush at her and they get into the alley. She's like, "Hey, you. Why, you son of a..." It's like, "I didn't ask you to save me. I don't need." And they just see Deku's arm is still messed up. You can even see the bone coming out. And Bakugo, for all it's worth, when they fought back in the day, had never actually seen Midoriya this messed up. He never once messed Midoriya up this much. When he and Midoriya fought, Midoriya always had the physical edge, but Bakugo's quirk evened the playing field quite a bit. He could rough Deku up pretty hard, and he never really injured him greatly enough to do any lasting. Here, though, he actually sees it. He's actually a little because the amount of what the hell is? It's fine. Give it a few minutes, it'll heal right up. Look, you idiot. But I got a bone to pick with you assholes. What? It's like, when the hell have you been a coward? It's like, what did you say? It's like, the Bakugo I know never give up, no matter what. He'd do whatever it takes to win, no matter what he had to do or who he had to work with, because he's a winner. Isn't that right? A hero can do anything by himself or together. But a hero is only as good as the heroes around him. No hero can do everything. Everything. So if you're just going to throw in the goddamn towel, then what kind of hero are you? And Bakugo's livid at this. But he can't respond. It's like, what do you know about being being a hero? I don't know anything about being a hero yet. Then he just finally kind of sets it. That's why we're here. That's why we're here to learn to be better than who we were, to be better than the next generation. Isn't that right? You want to be the greatest hero of all time. Then try acting like it. Look, like I said, you hate me, and I'm becoming less and less a fan of you. But do you honestly, truly think you can beat All Might on your own? I can't beat All Might on my own. And so it's just and finally, they come out and say, I have to do this. And they obviously use the grenade, stun All Might with it. It's like, move! It's like hell, it's going to put him down for long. You're right about that. Once again, Midoriya and Bakugo get separated. It ends probably the same way as before. Midoriya, this time coming in at a much lower percentage so he doesn't break his body again. Just boom! He actually manages to throw. He swings his arm unintentionally and realizes he just threw a gust of air and just realizes. And so he comes in, instead of hitting All Might, he first blasts him with a gust of wind, which All Might actually braces him. Like, he's gotten that far, huh? He just comes in instead of a punch. He actually comes in basically with it's not a hammer fist, a hammer or an axe fist. That's going down. He's more. I can't actually. Let me know what. If you're just going to hit someone like that, what that is. I know this is an axe fist. Is it a hammer fist? I mean, that's a haymaker, if I'm not mistaken. Which is kind of not a hammer maker, mind you, but is that just like a hammer shot or something like that? I want to say hammer's involved with the name of that. But he does that and said, boom! And this time he's like, oh. And obviously All Might's time is starting to wane, but he's not done yet. Like his time limit isn't completely up, but it is putting a strength. Not bad, Midoriya. Not bad at all. And you too, Bakugo. Not bad as well, Bakugo. You're being able to work with each other. That's part of what being a hero truly is. And they make it and they pass. And so that's where we're going to leave part 4. Well, the next time we're going to lead into the Forest arc, the Forest training arc, the attack from the villains, as well as One for All and All Might's match, which we're going to skip over, and basically then the provisional license exam. So that really what we're going to focus on mostly is the Forest and the provisional license exam. Until then, though, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Later.